So I don't think it's fully accurate to say we can't change people, but you don't set your intention trying to change someone. You set your intention because you know you get to have your desires. What do you do when your partner is extremely resistant to the idea that you could be financially well off? It's the point that he thinks me going to get my hair done is frivolous. Big dissonance there for me. What I observed over many, many years of teaching the money course is as different things can happen and we're not in control of your partner. But what I've observed is as someone elevates their energy, as someone shifts their own beliefs, as someone lives another way, without saying a fucking word, they'll be inspiration to their partner, and their partner will end up picking up on the concepts and the ideas. Because how many of you know if you try to say some of this shit to your man, he would be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But what I've observed, having like my last relationship, my 7-year relationship, I definitely did not try to convince him of any of this, but I found himself quoting me, saying things. Like I found him getting it just from being around me. I wasn't holding back from talking about how I felt, but I wasn't ever trying to change him. And through my elevation, a lot changed inside him too, and he's now a business owner, having a very different experience. You're welcome, humanity. I leave people better than I found them. Anyway, so, yeah. So if the person, I would assume the best. Gabby Bernstein says, clean up your side of the street when she talks about relationships. Or she said that years ago and I hung on to it because it was like, oh, it was a moment for me. So you keep your side of the street clean, you do your work, you do your life, you can't change anyone anyway. And you set the intention, this is the other thing I'll say, because it's not that we can't change anyone. I'll just say this. Set the intention for the kind of relationship you get to have. Set the intention for the kind of dynamics you get to have in a relationship. Set the intention for how your relationship feels to you. Set the intention for how money gets to flow in your relationship. Set the intention for the relationship you want and do the work around money, and then let the universe handle the wild details. So, like, the reason I was saying I hesitate to say you can't change people is because I can just think of a million situations where someone set the intention for how the relationship gets to grow and change, and the person evolved accordingly. So I don't think it's fully accurate to say we can't change people, but you don't set your intention trying to change someone. You set your intention because you know you get to have your desires. And the way people, things, places, experience rearrange and line up is not up to you. So I don't believe in like manipulating someone to whatever, but I believe that I can decide what I get to have and believe it gets to be mine, be a match for it, and watch all kinds of things rearrange is what I believe.